Anyway, we have a match. It's an exciting match, I think.
You're dang right. We have a top 8 qualifying match. Litenang versus OkamiOfGames. Neither of these players has a star in the top right of their player cards.
That's what makes this good.
They have not been to top 8 before, but one of them is. One of them is not. One of them is going to come so close. Which one is it going to be? Litenang, the absolute veteran, been around for 12 mystery tournaments now, and OkamiOfGames participating for the first time. I don't know. I think maybe Okami a little bit favored.
I think so, yeah. Just like a heavy hitter over at Kuso.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've had plenty of people come in and do amazing on the first time just because they are that good, and Okami is one of those people.
What's with all these songs that barely make a noise?
Yeah, we had 2 in a row. We had a mellow Chrono Trigger thing and now a Star Ocean.
Oh, I played this game a bit until I got bored.
Yeah, you said that.
I don't know. I keep trying. It's like I know that there's really good RPGs because they're like popular and I can tell they're well made and you know, like they look good. But I just can't. I keep trying. And I would like to.
This is funny to me. I have a mid boss is someone who cares deeply about all his friends, and so he cares what they're into, what they like, right? And so if there's some game that he hates or whatever, but you like, he will probe you endlessly about why you like it, and he feels compelled to like it himself. He's like, just help me understand what is good about it. Like he sees it as a problem with him and not the game, or I don't know. And I'm like, it's okay to just like different things. I mean, it's okay to just not like a thing.
But it feels like I'm missing out. I also don't like games like Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley. But there's so many people who love them and they put hundreds of hours into them and they love it. And I would like to love it. I would like to be positive about those games, but I just can't. I play like 3 days in Stardew Valley and I'm bored out of my mind.
Is there... I mean, you've put hundreds of hours into Tetris probably at this point, right?
Probably, yeah. But I wouldn't even say that's a good game.
But that's your Stardew, right? Like, you can be passionate and put lots of energy and time into something.
But, like, if I don't like a game, then I'm only missing out on the game. But it turns out I don't like this entire genre where there's, like, 10 new good games coming out every year, like JRPGs. And I'm missing out. I would like to play
There's lots of video games, Maurice. There are so many video games. For every video game that you play, love, and enjoy, you are missing out on literally 1,000 other games at all times.
Yeah, check out these 12 games?
Yeah, let's
11.
see them. So Litenang pointed out in an interview after he was defeated by a savage brute in the winner's bracket.
Oh, that's me.
That he was like, I feel like I didn't have a weak opponent my entire run through winners. Like, it would be easy to be like, oh, Litenang, a bit lucky to be here or whatever. But, like, look at this list of names. Kieran H, I think, was, like, a pretty even matchup in the Fireman that was decided by some really weird stuff.
Yeah. It was a weird race.
But after that, Polari has been to top 8 before, is a very strong player. Polari got completely messed up by some assumptions that everyone made about familiarity with Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
None of us even considered what it would be like to not know how to finish the first 4 levels of Donkey Kong. And so it never made it into a pay spin, and it was really unclear actually what to do for Polari.
I
never...
That
was kind of the whole...
Yeah, I never really played Donkey Kong. I think Donkey Kong is a terrible game, just like Pac-Man. But I feel like you've seen it at some point that you have to walk over the little rivets at 200 meters to make Donkey Kong drop down. Like I don't think I've ever played that really, other than in this game itself. But it's just something you know. I don't know, like jumping over the barrels. It's just something you've seen.
Yeah. Well, Polari hadn't seen it, and so fell to Litenang, who played pretty well, actually. So even if Polari was able to kind of play the game, I think it would have been a good race. And then defeated Nighty, who is a multiple top 8 player in Millennium Racer, which was a PC futuristic racing game. Pretty cool thing. By the way, I haven't been keeping an eye on how they've been doing. They don't have a game yet, right?
No, they have problems finding a game.
Right. Okay. So we're good to keep talking.
Yeah.
Millennium Racer's cool. I like it.
I didn't see it, but it sounds cool.
And so that race was very, very, very close.
Oh wait,
Nighty lost a lot of time to not hitting the escape key to cancel out of a thing between races quickly. We roughly tried to see how close they would be accounting for getting rid of that mistake, and they were 1 second apart. And so we were okay to be like, well, Nighty did absolutely make this mistake. I think it was in the pace bin even.
I mean, even if it's not in the pace bin, it's time you lose in the game. Just like in Fireman, if you don't press select to skip the dialogue.
Yeah. So yeah, it was, someone made a mistake, and so it made sense for that to have consequences. And so Lightning moved on to face Zenik Reverie, who is a really strong player, has been to top 8, and I think of as a good puzzle player. I don't think I'm wrong about that. But defeated him in a puzzle game called Puzzle Puppers, which was cute.
Yeah.
Not too difficult.
It was like, you can play this for 30 minutes, sure, why not?
Yeah. I think Exuno was on commentary, and they said I played it and stopped playing. Like, I got bored before even the end of the goal. So there was a couple levels that they hadn't seen. And then was defeated by you, Maurice, in Spear.
It was good. It was a good game.
Yeah. I think Lightning played well, but you were just ahead, just a little bit faster in all kinds of ways.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if Lightning played well, that means I played weller.
Yeah.
I appreciate, like, if Lightning did well.
You just finding ways to turn it into a compliment for old Maurice.
Yeah! Oh man, I'm like the heel of this tournament. And I love it.
Yeah, you wear it well. Over to the other side of the screen, OkamiOfGames unfortunately took out Brosensha, who is the runner of Cuso Grande, which is a lovely, lovely thing where players blind race. Horrible games. And OkamiOfGames is a top player over there.
So, does this mean Brosensha got killed by Cuso people? I think the second game he lost, Sega Rally, like real time attack, was also against the Cuso, like regular.
Yeah, Okami as well was like a Flannel Cat, Jackazam, Andy. These were all, I think all Cuso players.
Yeah.
So yeah, Okami was kind of lamenting having to either knock out or be knocked out by people they considered friends. So that's just sort of the fun of Mystery Tournament, I guess. We are a pretty tight-knit community. So Sumu was the hamster in a forklift pushing boxes puzzle game.
That's
a little bit clever.
I think it was a good game, yeah.
Had a convincing win against Flannel Cat in another puzzle game, Puzznic, for the NES, which we keep circling back to, I think mostly thanks to Internet Dirigible, who was completely enamored with the random bunny girl that appeared after
It was very unexpected.
Okami of Games was able to beat the whole game. We'll remember it always. Someone's gotta chop her out and get a pop over or something, put her in the corner of the screen. We gotta do something. And then beat Jakazam in the very, very difficult platformer Washout Spire. The timings, the windows to hit the button, to do the things in so many places in that game just was so small due to the speed at which you move around.
Yeah, it was kind of like Celeste Seasides. It's like how precise it wants you to do things and how little room of error you have.
Yeah. And then fell to Andy in a match I should remember. Is this the girl? Let's see.
I think that's her.
Yeah, there she is. She's not a bunny girl even. She doesn't even have the bunny ears. She's just got the...
Yeah, it's like the outfit.
The rest of it.
But when you beat it on hard, you get the ears.
Hyperbole. Right.
Oh yeah.
What a strange game.
I think it was interesting, so it makes for a good race.
Sure.
It's unique.
Yeah. Strange is not necessarily... It can coexist with good. It indeed often does, especially around here. But that was a game where you mass vomited spheres out of your face to physics push objects around and solve puzzles. I'm going to have this sprite up in the corner of my screen for basically the entire cast. And then, Okami in the loser's bracket faced off against Gickman in Box Clever, which was...
Game sucked.
Nothing. There was no puzzles at all. Ignore Clever. It was just a platformer with intentionally difficult controls.
I don't like any game that gives me intentionally difficult controls, like Castlevania, for example. A lot of the game is about like moving in a way that you stay in control and not like jump into enemies or something, and I don't think it's good game design to me.
I think as long as the challenges they ask you to do with the controls fit the controls. Like if they're asking you to do something that they're just really bad at doing. No, that's not a good way to put it. Like you can you can beat Castlevania without getting hit, right? If you're smart and cautious and careful. Because you have tools to do what you need to do. You just need to really find the particular things that you need to do. You can't just kind of wing it, I think, or it can go bad really easily. So maybe Castlevania is a little bit different than the box one, because the box one, I don't know, like trying to hit those grapples across the gap or whatever, that just seemed not fun. Like the controls,
yeah, it was weird.
Just were not really meant for that. Well, it was a pretty close race. It was mostly decided by Okami one-shotting the final section of dodging those drops that came down through the windy pipes.
Boss.
Yeah. That was really hard. It took Ickman a number of tries, and both of them reached it at about the same time. But Okami first tried it, was out of there, and won the match. And then absolutely stomped Blade Twin Swords in Udongen X.
Oh yeah.
That was a Toho fan game based off of Mega Man X. Okami of Games was extremely good at Mega Man X, and Blade Twin Swords was not. So we saw an absolutely phenomenal performance from Okami of Games, and then BTS not so much. And it was very, very one-sided. BTS didn't even make it halfway through the goal before Okami was done. It was just really impressive to watch.
Alright, and we have a game we're gonna work out, because women don't like fat penguins. In Yume Penguin Monogatari.
Happy Valentine's Day!
Yeah.
Here's a game with some some disturbing implications in terms of healthy self-image, and yeah, this game's got some problems. But you're absolutely right. This whole game is about your girlfriend getting fed up with you for getting fat, and you being forced to eat nothing but diet shakes to keep your weight down.
Yeah,
in order to earn her affection back. It's really not great.
Well, I mean, the game itself is cool.
Yes, that's true. The story, the ethical implications of what's happening, disappointing. But the game is cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like Sonic, the fat one, the ROM hack way. When you collect rings, it's onion rings, and you get fatter and fatter. It's kind of
it's
like
harder
that.
To move. I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. But instead of working out by running left and right for like 5 minutes, we're gonna collect like you said, diet shakes or something to lose weight.
Yeah. So you move a lot slower when you're a big penguin. So it's important to keep those diet shakes coming. But you don't want to get too many. Like I think it's bad to have your meter be totally empty as well.
I think when you get hit, no, yeah, there's some reason not to. I forgot which one.
I should know too. This was a Big 20 game. I learned about it to commentate it for that race, and then forgot everything. Here we go. Start out as this penguin. He's doing his best.
Shape up.
And then you shape up, and now you can move a little bit better.
So the interesting thing about this game is there's a bar at the bottom, which tells you how fat you are. The fuller it is, the fatter you are. And to finish a stage, you need to be below the heart. Otherwise, the woman will not approve.
Yeah. Which sounds like a bad mechanic for a mystery race, so hopefully that's not too much of a problem. Lightning grabs the shake, Okami does as well. I should check the pace bin to see what the players know about this game. Because both of them prioritize that shake pretty heavily. You have to be slow enough to finish each stage, otherwise you repeat the stage.
Look how fast Litenang is! He's thin-ish.
And glowing with invulnerability. And OkamiOfGames not so much. Falling down. Having trouble getting back up. Yeah, so there's chubby, normal, and thin. And then there's question mark if it gets completely emptied. I forget what the question mark is, and the pace bin does not say.
I played this too, I don't remember either. I think when you get hit, you get fatter as well, or maybe you just get stunned.
Alright, they're on the vertical climb. These are pretty notoriously difficult sections.
Oh, but the screen scrolls back down. That's very nice.
Yes. You could hold A to kind of flutter a little bit. Okami used that to make a gap they otherwise might not have made, and very close coming out of the first level.
Well done, but you need to get slimmer.
Look at you! Look at his face. His girlfriend's like, yeah, not good enough. Like, oh man. I feel so bad for this guy. Just leave her. Just go get someone else.
Alright, Yume Penguin Monogatari. When I raced this, the times were from 18 minutes to... What? To 1 hour 23? Okay.
Well, you do have to replay stages if you mess up.
That's true.
Oh no, lightning. Okay. Got hit and lost his ship. Oh no, lightning's got hit 3 times. Is actually over the line.
But he's just like on the brink of disappointing his girlfriend.
other mechanic here is the time in the bottom left. There are clocks you can pick up to increase your time. If I remember right, this actually matters a little bit. Maybe not in this auto-scroller, but in one of the auto-scrollers, it's not enough. You do have to get a clock or two. I think that's the case.
Shouldn't the apples make you thinner? I mean, I guess they do have sugar, but it's still healthier than some of the other stuff.
Yeah, if you're gonna go out of your way to make this game about body image and eating right and losing weight and all that, you think you'd at least get it right. Well, OkamiOfGames doing much better in the shoot 'em up section. Both players thin enough to progress, but OkamiOfGames has got that sort of wiggle room and has missiles as well.
Oh, accidentally ate an apple. Big mistake. Oh no! Oh no! Litenang, stop eating!
Oh no!
Oh, it also wastes time when you eat, because going back down makes this animation happen. Maybe Litenang shouldn't shoot so much. Yeah, this is an issue.
Is this no good now? Did you have to be thin
no,
enough before the boss? No, it's after the boss. This could be the whole race.
We're through.
Oh,
that's an auto scroller too. That's like 3 minutes or something.
Man, the backup game's coming in with the really, really harsh penalties.
Yeah. That's why I was thinking maybe Litenang shouldn't shoot so much.
Just hang out and grab the shakes. Yeah, maybe
as long
that
as he
was
keeps
the better
throwing
play.
them, yeah. OkamiOfGames is lean.
It's his race to lose in a lot of ways. Appearing and disappearing platforms, no indication of where they're gonna be when. Lightning's gotta eat a lot of shakes, man. This has not been going so good.
Oh god, he's almost the chubbiest you can be.
It's just having a lot of trouble with the shoot 'em up section. OkamiOfGames found the propeller hat, so gets to go for a free ride here. It does run out, and pretty shortly, so you want to make sure you're in a good spot when it does, but...
He's like so thin. I'm worried what happens.
I think it runs out anyway.
I'm worried what happens when he picks up one more. Pick it up! Or maybe do,
Question
I don't
mark.
know!
I think it resets you like halfway. I don't remember. Put out one of the candles on the birthday cloud?
Birthday cloud.
I don't know.
He's picking them up. He's the thinnest you can be. He's
The
happy.
level is over. Lightning is right on the cusp.
Do some exercise in the desert? Jeez.
That's
Woman.
so intense and very dangerous.
That sounds like asking to get dehydration issues.
Yeah. Alright, another auto-scroller.
I mean,
for
we're not even doing
OkamiOfGames.
exercise. We're in a plane. Drinking weight loss shakes is not exercise.
Okay, oh, Lightning is very, very, very close to the threshold, but is going to be okay to get out of this stage. There's an enemy Okami can't hit that's moving along the floor. I guess it's not a big deal. Lightning on the vertical stage.
I mean, he has like rockets.
Yeah, it's had those for basically the whole run.
You can shoot the rice balls. Nice touches.
H-A. Wow. A got everything on the screen. Maybe the H was the rocket upgrade. I think we're coming up on the boss fight now for Okami. Lightning with the propeller hat.
He needs to lose some more weight first.
Yeah.
He's too fast.
He's getting hit. Lost the propeller hat too. That is a major time loss.
So what does Yume mean?
Dream, I think.
Oh. That's the pink one apparently, according to the UI.
Oh. Lightning is just barely thin enough. That's the end of the level, but the...
Oh, but just hitting enemies doesn't make you fat. Only their projectiles do.
OkamiOfGames on a boss fight, a very surreal boss fight with these wings with legs that are actually a big bird.
It makes sense, I swear.
Yeah,
I want to see what happens.
The game is one loop.
Pick up more.
One of these is dead. Two of these are dead.
He's still
the
thin.
Third one,
he's even more
thin. It's gonna
thin.
be hard.
Nothing happens.
Finds the kill. Lightning is way, way, way over the line. Is gobbling up
so
more
fat.
apples. He's so big. Can he dodge these apples coming in? Yes. More shakes, more shakes. Just get shakes. Don't even fight the boss.
Bleeding apples. Maybe they're like candy apples. However they're called.
Yeah, maybe. Oh. He keeps getting got by that middle-ish part of the pattern.
OkamiOfGames is on one of those 2.5D stages where it's hard to tell where the floor is.
Yeah, I don't like that. I noticed it during the vertical section when they were climbing on the cake, and I was like, I don't know where the floor is here.
Huh. Oh, Litenang ran out
Time's
of time.
up. This is why the timer mechanic is here, I guess, so that you can't just stall until you eat enough shakes to finally beat the boss.
Yeah, because you can't die, right?
Right. Well, it's gonna take disaster on the part of OkamiOfGames to lose this one at this point, I think.
I mean, he's gone. He hasn't lost any girlfriends yet.
Yeah. That bar is all the way down at the bottom every time I look over.
Splash just kills himself.
Yeah, the barrel lines up like perfectly. Alright, when he throws it right, I guess not so much.
Maybe you have to hit
but
it so it goes higher.
Yeah, you can hit it to influence basically just the height, and then once you hit it, it's kind of stuck doing that forever. But that's it. Boss down.
I got the hat.
Almost.
It's a cool hat.
Yeah. Maybe your girlfriend will forgive you for being a little bit overweight.
Hey, the other guy has a hat too, see?
Yeah. And sunglasses. That's probably part of the appeal.
Yeah, I mean, can't compete with those. You'll never see her again. It's the last level.
Mm-hmm. It's not a long game. I think there's this and then another auto-scroller after.
I'm worried about my time. Litenang is...
Games into the water, instantly gets a full meter for touching the water.
Oh, what?
That is super harsh.
It's like sugar water.
An entire ocean of sugar water.
Yeah.
Instead of salt water.
This is why
Fish that like breathe it in.
This is why the pool caps are melting.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't even know what the implications of sugar water in the Arctic would be.
I guess salt. What? Doesn't salt melt snow? Why does the salt water at the Arctic not melt the ice caps?
I really have absolutely no idea where you went wrong. You made some kind of assumption somewhere, and I don't even know. Probably the salt you spread on the water is not pure salt. Anyway, here's the boss. This is why I thought there was an auto-scroller after, because of this boss fight. But it is just a boss fight.
Okami is a bit fat.
It is, yeah, quite a lot fat, actually.
Like, the implication here is you save this girl, who's obviously in distress from this sunglasses hat-wearing penguin, but then she's like, I mean, thanks, but I have a boyfriend. Oh, he's so chubby.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, like, the last level, she's already captured, so it doesn't matter. We'll see. We'll see what she does after Okami beats this guy.
There's a heart on the UI, so I would assume it will matter. But there's also
it's also way down there, too. Like, it's very demanding.
Yeah, but there's also no shakes. What are you supposed to be doing?
So we got some physics answers. Salt lowers the freezing point of water.
Okay. Maybe this is like good ending when you're thin enough.
Oh, and you get the bad ending. Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, there's the shakes. Get the shakes.
This is gonna be a lot of shakes, though.
Ouch. It is the pink shakes. Those give more.
You're right. Careful hanging out in front of that nose. That shot that comes down the middle.
It makes you fat for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like icing.
Pink shakes are good. So here it is, just like you said, 102 seconds on the clock. This is the right play for sure. Shape up, going back into the damage. Just smart, good play from Okami. I feel like even if Litenang hadn't had to redo stages, it would have been maybe Okami's game anyway, but we'll never know, I suppose. I think that's it!
Is it? That would be a really good time. Oh. That is dead. That's it.
Oh. Got done. 15:47. A phenomenal time. OkamiOfGames is going to top 8.
Beating me by 2 minutes.
Wow. Take that, Maurice.
Couldn't have said anything.
I mean, is beating a lot of people by a lot with this time.
Actually, this must have been raised a lot of times. Oh, I don't think these people were blind.
Yeah, it's a popular enough speedrun that you're gonna find some not blind stuff.
Let me find a blind one.
Okami has collected a lot of shakes in this boss fight, so has a bit of a buffer. It's also collecting a lot of apples. Oh! Gets both candles immediately. Ends the boss fight. As Okami goes through the ending of the game, there's this reveal.
Munch munch. Wait, is she fat?
What's she munching on? We'll find out. For that, we can talk to OkamiOfGames. Hello.
Hey.
You did it! You're going to top 8!
Man, I didn't think this was what was gonna happen when I joined.
You didn't?
I know too many people here are way too good at this stuff. I felt like I could at least make it decently far into the tournament, but top 8? No. I didn't think that was gonna happen.
Well, what's your track record like over at Kusa Grande, though?
See, that's different because I have to actually, like, I need to actually think about games. Here I have to get used to being able to blitz games a bit more. It's kind of a different mindset that you have to approach in each tournament. Kuso, you have to be a bit more methodical about what you're doing. Here, you gotta just go fast. That's kind of my summary. But this game was fun. I like this game.
Yeah, we've been harping on the really bad body image issues that the game is working with in its premise. But in terms of gameplay,
in terms of gameplay, yeah. It's a pretty fast game.
Yeah, well, it was fast for you. You have one of the best blind times ever, it turns out, in this game. We were looking them up. So, congratulations for tearing this one apart.
Hooray! NES platformers are, I guess you could call them my specialty. That's usually what I fare best in, and this fits that bill pretty well.
Oh, I guess the fastest blind time. There it is. Your opponent, Litenang, was not slim enough at the end of the second stage, the one with the auto-scroller, the first plane one.
That would hurt a lot, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of it.
So I don't think I know the pace been mentioned. Here, I'll quote it here. You have to be slim enough to finish each stage. Get the meter at the bottom of the screen to the right of the heart icon. Otherwise, you'll repeat the stage. So, okay, I misread the pace bin then slightly because I missed the heart icon part. I just thought you had to be in the thin part of the meter. So I misread that slightly, but I mean, it still worked out. And thin's kind of where you want to be because you have a range shot when you're in thin. Normally, you have a crappy kick.
Yeah.
And then chubby is chubby.
I mean, it's hard for Litenang is stuck in the chubby zone right now, and it's hard to dodge the attacks to not get chubbier. It's kind of I mean, that at least metaphorically can be how it happens sometimes when you're trying to lose weight. Caught in those spirals, but we'll see if Okami can break out of it. You had a good realization during the final boss, because you fell in that water and it just instantly kicked you all the way to full meter.
Yeah, my train of thought when I got to that boss was, I'm gonna have to beat this boss, and then I'm not gonna be slim enough, and I'm gonna have to repeat the stage. And then when I took out the arms, the boss just kept shooting, food, and what are they supposed to be, like, protein shakes? That's what they look like.
Yeah, that's what we've been calling them.
But it just kept shooting at me, so I'm like, okay, I don't have to fight the boss just yet. I can wait until I'm thin enough, and then destroy the boss, and then I don't have to repeat the stage.
Yeah. That was an option for Litenang. I don't know too much about the bird's pattern. It would have, I guess it could have been the way to go on some of these bosses, but Litenang's meter was really full too, so it would take like a long time to drink the smaller shakes.
I did notice, I don't know if this is specifically with the final boss. Well, yeah, because the final boss shot out a decently large protein shake, so they took off like 2 or 3 notches per instead of 1, which I think the regular goons dropped. So it's like, if you were already at maximum chubby and you picked up one of those at the final boss, you just immediately go into normal zone. And that sped up the process a little bit.
I'm a little bit worried Litenang is just having a lot of trouble with the auto-scroller sections. It just keeps getting hit by stuff. Is pretty close to avoiding, but then not quite. But you seem to have a real handle on those. It didn't seem to be a problem.
I've played a Gradius. I know what's up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I actually did play through Gradius 3 like a few weeks ago, so side-scrolling shmups were a bit fresh in my mind.
Perfect.
And hey, another excellent Konami game. That is also really friggin' difficult.
What was it? I think, was it a Big 20 game? I had to play a little bit of, I say Gradius. And you're right. It is. It's very difficult. Especially, like, you want some speed power-ups, but not too many speed power-ups, because it just becomes
that's
a
something you need to get into. Like, you have to figure out what's a good speed, so that way I can dodge stuff while still maintaining control. And sometimes hitting that exact balance is not easy, especially in So, like, there's one stage in... It's in Gradius 3, I'm pretty sure it's in other Gradiuses, where it's like the stage is moving super fast, and if you are at default speed, you just die.
Yeah, that
you
sounds
cannot
like
avoid things fast enough.
They would just put that in the game back then.
They give you plenty of opportunities to get power-ups in that area, so you can just immediately throw as many of them into speed as you want. So it works out, sort of.
I can't remember... Okay, there's the boss kill for Lightning. Moving on to, I think, the final stage next. I can't remember if it was you I was talking to in one of these interviews where you said you've been watching Mystery Tournament for a while. You'd seen some of the top 8 events, and that was part of the appeal of finally jumping in.
I think that's I think we discussed that during my last match, because I remember I think that was when ID was on commentary. But I remember, like, we were talking about that, and I think ID said, like, that's how Maurice got started, and then Maurice, of course, responded with, well, I expected to be in top 8.
Told you, I'm the heel.
Oh, the fish carries Lightning into the water, and that does fill the meter.
To be fair, I play that role a fair bit in Kuso as well, so I know that feel, Maurice. We could be dual heals. I mean, most people have 2 heals, right?
Alright.
Yeah, they come in pairs. I asked because now that you're a part of it, I was just wondering how that made you feel.
Well, it's only gonna get tougher from here on out, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, my general mentality with a lot of these mystery tournaments is, and this particularly applies for top 8, but it can definitely apply earlier in the tournament. When I get into top 8, that's when I can say I have just as much of a possibility of winning the tournament as anybody else at that point. Like, anybody can take it at that point. All bets are off.
Yeah. I agree. I've always... So we try to pick out some good stuff for our top 8. Stuff that's special in some way.
I'm glad somebody got to play Power Shovel last year. That game rules.
Exactly. So, are you looking forward to finding out, like, what have they got in store, sort of thing?
Oh man, I cannot wait. I absolutely... You have no idea how hard I laughed at that, what was it called? Realms of the Blind? The very last match of MT15, the Doomwad one.
I made that.
Ruled.
I partially made it anyway. I co-made it with Crankdud.
That absolutely ruled to watch. I was laughing so hard at it because I was like, I think Lawnmower was a thing that started well before I started watching these, but I was very much aware of the Lawnmower memes. And it's like that rules. That's how they end this, with lawn mowing in Doom.
Yeah. We had this idea of, like, oh, it's gonna change from Doom into other games. And then once other games were on the table, we didn't even have to really say it. Like, it was just kind of, we just implicitly knew, me and Crank did, that, like, it's gonna be Lawnmower.
Well, you absolutely nailed it, that's for sure.
Yeah. It turned out, though, in order to keep the length down, because we had some testers who were already at an hour or something, so our original idea of, like, you're going to go through all these different kinds of games, and it's going to be like a nice showcase of gaming history or something, and then it was mostly Mario, and then Lawnmower.
Is that why there was no Sokoban level?
Yes, that's the only reason why. We absolutely would have made people push boxes in Doom, if not for the time restrictions. So Lightning has fallen down into the water. No, I guess I won't say anything about what games are planned. But, yeah, Lightning is stuck in the same situation as you of having to play around being a really big guy.
Yeah, I don't know if it was that... It felt like my input might have gotten eaten for that, but it also could have entirely been I hit the button a little too late.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing that Lightning fell for it as well tells me maybe it was actually an input drop. But what do I know? I'm willing to bet I am just bad.
Yeah, I don't remember enough about the specifics of this game to remember if input dropping was a thing people complained about.
I mean, I don't think it was a big issue, because like I say, it could have entirely just been I hit the button too late, but that's the only time where I felt like a input drop might have happened.
So like you, I think Lightning... Go ahead.
Any other time, the game felt fairly responsive.
Yeah. I mean, it looks good. It seemed like, for the most part, you were able to kind of do what you wanted to do. It didn't look like you were fighting the controls. I can sometimes tell when a player is just not able to do what they want to do in a game.
I don't think I've ever played an NES Konami game where I felt like I could not get a grasp on the controls. A lot of Konami games usually control pretty well.
Yeah.
My experience. Like I mentioned in my comment, the masterpiece of NES Konami games, Bucky O'Hare. That game is great.
Yeah, it's hard as nails, but
it's hard.
You control well. Yeah.
It controls well. It's tough, but it's very forgiving with checkpoints, and it has good music. It is a contender for one of my favorite NES soundtracks.
Yeah, for sure. It's way up there. My favorite is probably Sunsoft. Oh, but then like Final Fantasy III is pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard question for me, but yeah, I love the tunes in Bucky O'Hare.
Yeah, I think I regularly have like one of the songs in my playlist for when I'm driving is the Green Planet theme from Bucky O'Hare. It's probably my favorite song in that game.
Hopefully, it doesn't encourage reckless driving with the
no,
with
it
energy.
doesn't. I can promise you that. I think.
All right, Lightning is very close to the heart, and then gets the final hit. That is going to wrap it with 14 seconds on the clock too. By the way, that was actually getting pretty close. So it's a little unclear that you're done. You're like, this is probably it, but I'm going to wait for a little bit. There it is, the dot done. 30:45 is the time from Lightning.
Hooray. We did it. We played the video game.
This must be at least a little bit bitter for Lightning, who made it all the way to the top 8 match on winner's side and fell there to Maurice, and then came down here and still had one more chance, just one more match to win to make top 8, and it wasn't quite enough. So we're joined now with Lightning. Hello.
Hello. Congrats, Okami. Good luck in top 8.
It was a fun race.
It was okay.
Yeah, when you're stuck with the meter full, and then replaying stages, I don't think there's ever a situation where it's fun to just do a stage again.
That wasn't the biggest kicker for me. The most frustrating thing is that how long you are in hit stun, which means that you have no control over the cascade of events.
Yes, I totally know what you mean.
So if you get hit by one, it's no longer in your control whether you get hit by the 3 or not. And I struggled really hard with the third stage, which was like the cake stage, because it knocked you down so far if you got hit at the wrong time. But all in all, that game was a lot shorter than I thought. And I don't know, it just wasn't particularly fun. Like, it wasn't bad, just wasn't good.
How do you feel about the story of the game? What it has to say about body image and things like that.
I mean, there's that, but also the story is not something that I think people should strive for. Because technically, from the other penguin's point of view, it's not a great thing, right? You're kind of stealing his girl.
Is it? I thought she was your girl in the beginning.
Yeah, but then your penguin got fat, and then it's all in all. There's not a lot of good things about this story.
We kept coming back to it because it's just so like, why did you make a whole game around this? Like, why did no one stop and go, maybe we shouldn't shame fat people? Or I don't know.
This was, from a bygone era, good old NES days, and I assume they just wanted to churn out games, right?
Yeah.
Regardless, like some intern got tasked with writing like 20 short plots, and this was drawn out of the hat, and then they decided to make it into a full game. That's kind of what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I can actually see it now. Someone said, okay, it's a game where you can be, you're fat or you're thin, and that changes the gameplay. Like when you're really big or you're slow, and you gotta eat things to slow down. And then when you slim down, then you're fast and light. And someone's like, yeah, that's okay, right? Those are interesting mechanics. And then later they were like, oh, we need a story around this. And then it became...
I don't even want to say it started with like the fat or skinny thing, because I think this type of gameplay I've definitely seen before, where you collect power-ups and then you start to move faster, your attacks are stronger, and then like the more you get hit, the weaker you get again.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't seem particularly unique, but the way they implemented it with being like a fat or skinny penguin was pretty unique. Also, being slim and having the voice attack was such a big power-up that I hated that I couldn't maintain it half the time.
Yeah.
Power-up was so good.
Yeah.
I did like that it kind of captures the sort of spiral effect of eating unhealthily.
I still want to know how getting thin makes me have voice that that gives me like Skyrim voices and stuff.
Yeah.
Because teach me that trick, somebody.
I don't know. I'm not nearly thin enough for that. Lightning, you got really, really, really close to making top 8. But still your best performance ever in Mystery Tournament.
Yay.
That's the silver lining.
I think score-wise it ties with like wins and losses, but this time I made it through winners instead of losers.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
rather
longer
than
winners than I did.
Yeah,
So
rather
congrats.
than placing, the people that I beat along the way, I think, is an accomplishment.
Same.
Yeah,
The people I beat along the way is more of a meme than anything else.
All your friends from Cuso Grande.
Yeah, about that. Well, that was particularly the winners bracket. I fought a bunch of new people in losers bracket. That was great.
So, yeah, I performed a lot better having not played video games for like the better part of a year, or better part of half a year. So maybe I just shouldn't play video games before entering Mystery Tournament next time. See how that keeps going.
Is that worth it? I don't know.
Oh man.
I'll write that down for MT17.
Video games are pretty good. Also,
Yeah.
if I was to give advice for anyone to get better at blind racing, I would probably, number 1 would be play a lot of video games.
I mean, yeah, just join in.
I would-
Unfortunately don't.
Oh,
Go
go
on. I don't have the time to do all these races that happen for MT, but I'm sure you could just like join in some of the races and see how you do alongside the players and some other people who feel like racing. I know in a lot of the matches I've done, there have been a few other people who have joined the race for fun. And
Absolutely.
I'm sure that's
and,
helped them get better at racing mystery games.
and my advice is solely for, or I wouldn't even say advice, but my strategy is solely for me. I've been in many mystery tournaments and I've played a lot of games already, so I think taking a break from it was a good thing.
That's true. There is a sort of, there's even like a brain chemistry thing of your brain when you give it time off. Like have you ever played a game and been stuck on something, and then you go to bed and then you wake up and you just do it like first try or whatever after that?
I've speedran a game, quit the game, did a 1-year return of not having played the game, and I nailed all the hardest tricks the first time. But, you know, then you messed up on a lot of the easy ones because you haven't been practicing them. So that was an experience.
Yeah, I think there's a science brain chemistry reason to maybe back up what I initially sort of dismissed as superstition. So I'm coming around. You're winning me over. Well, it led to your best run yet. So even though you are eliminated, I can only say congratulations.
Thank you.
Okami, also congratulations for making it to top 8.
Hey.
Better than Kuso, right?
Yeah. Well, see, funny story. I literally yesterday, I made top 8 in Kuso as well. So I've made top 8 in 2 tournaments in as many days now.
Yeah, but top
Sweet.
8 here is better than top 8 in Kuso. Don't tell anyone I said that.
That's true. I don't get to do what's known as the Kuso Gauntlet over there in top 8. So it is by default inferior.
Well, yeah. Good luck. Good luck with the rest of it. You know, you got all the heavy hitters coming up, so.
Yeah. Good luck to you next year. Next year, make it up to this point again and face me again and kick my butt that time. Do it.
I don't know about that, but I'll definitely just try to have fun. And, you know, for anyone who's not in Mystery Tournament, this is the tournament that I always strive to make time for.
Yeah, it's a special thing. So thank you so much for being a part of it, and thank you both of you for coming to talk to us.
Yep, thanks for restreaming for us, and I'll catch all of you later.
See y'all later.
But maybe don't go anywhere. Are we gonna do this, Maurice?
Sure, why not?